morning, everyone. This is Mrs. Shoaf. Today we're going to review how to calculate the percent of change and the percent of error. Okay, so remember from yesterday, when we do percent of change and percent of error, we're going to set up a proportion. We always put 100 in the denominator of the second fraction. If they tell us a percent, we put it in the numerator. If this is the percent of change, then this numerator is the amount of change, which is the difference. What you have to do is subtract the new and the old numbers to get the difference, to find out how much it changed. The denominator is always the original amount. So this is the formula you're going to use. Okay, so to review on number 1, it says identify the percent of change as an increase or decrease. Then find the percent of change. Round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. Okay, so I'm noticing it goes from 10 inches to 16 inches. So that is an increase because our numbers go up from 10 to 16. When I set up my proportion, I always put 100 in first. I don't know a percent, so I put X here. That's my percent of change. So if this is the percent of change in the numerator, I got to put the amount of change here in the numerator. So I got to figure out how much did it change. If it started at 10 inches and went to 16, I have to take 16 minus 10 to get 6. The denominator is always the original number. The original number comes first. 10 comes first. That's my original number. When I cross multiply, one way I get 600, the other way I get 10x, divide both sides by 10, and 600 divided by 10 is 60%. So it is a 60% increase. Okay, if we look at number 2, we started with 35 people and went to 25 people. So that is a decrease because the numbers went down. To find the percent of decrease, I'm going to set up a proportion. I'm going to put 100 in the denominator. I don't know the percent, so I put X here. So I've got to find the amount of change here. If X is the percent of change, this needs to be the amount of change. Well, how many people did it change by? I have to take 35 minus 25 to get 10. This is the original amount. The original amount is always what we start with. So I started with 35 people. That's why 35 is my original number. Okay, remember how we solve a proportion? We cross multiply. So if I go one way, 10 times 100 is 1,000. If I go the other way, I get 35x. Then I divide both sides by 35. So if it says 35x, I divide by 35. If I do that on my calculator, I get a 28.57142 and some more numbers. The directions say round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So this 5 is in the tenths. The 7 tells me to go up. So what I do is make the 5 a 6. So this would be a 28.6%. All right, we're going to do one more, and this last one that we're going to review is percent error. So number 3 says Sabrina calculates the cost of a book is $50. The actual price was $56. What is Sabrina's percent error? What percent did she err by? So when we do this, we set up a proportion. We put 100 in first. Above it, we always put the percent, but I don't know a percent, so I put X. This is my percent of error. So here, this numerator is the amount of error. This is how much I erred by, or Sabrina erred by. So how much was she off? If she thought the cost was 50 and it was really 56, I would take 56 minus 50 and find out, oh, she was off by $6. The only difference with percent of error, percent of change, is this has to be the actual price. So the actual or correct amount goes in the denominator. So how much did the book really cost? The actual price was 56, so we have to put 56 there. Now I just cross multiply. 6 times 100 is 600. 56 times x is 56x. I divide both sides by 56. So 600 divided by 56 in my calculator gives me a 10.7142 and then some more numbers. Well, if I round to the tenths, here's the tenths right behind the decimal point. The 1 tells me to stay the same. So 7 stays a 7, and what's behind it drops off. So she erred by 10.7%. All right, so tell me where you are now, 1, 2, or 3. 3, you really get it. 2, you sort of do. 1, you don't. If you are a 1, please go back and replay this video and take notes. Okay? Today, you're going to do a big ideas assignment. So you're going to go to big ideas and look for 6-5. Okay? If you finish your big ideas assignment early today, please start your math evaluate to get some of that done, and we will finish it next Wednesday. Have a good day.